अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल
Om Namah Paramarishibhyo Namah Paramarishibhyaha Harihi Om Upasakanam Yadupasaniyam Upattavasam Vatashakimule Tadhama Dakshinyajusha Swamurtyam Jagartu Chitte Mama Bodharupam Adraksham Akshinadaya Nidhanam Acharyamadhyam Vatamula Bhage Maunena Mandasmita Bhushitena Maharshilokasya Tamonudantam Vidravitashesha Tamoganena Mudra Visheshena Muhurmuninam Nirasyamayam Dayaya Vidhatte Devo Mahanstatvamasiti Bodham Mamadya Devo Vatamulavasim Kripa Visheshat Krita Sannidhanaham Omkara Rupam Upadishya Vidyam Avidyagadhvantamapaakarotu Apara Satchit Sukhavari Rashehe Yasyormi Matram Bhuvanam Samastam Guhahitam Tam Ramanam Gabhiram Chintavihinam Hridi Chintayami Tvai Arunachala Sarvam Bhutva Sthitva Pralinametachittram Hridyahamityatmataya Nrityasibho Te Vadanti Hridayam Nama Ahamiti Kuta Ayati Tyanvishyantah Pravishtayatyamalabhyam Avagamyasvam Rupam Shamyatyarunachala-tvai Nadivabdhau Tyaktva Vishayam Bahyam Ruddha Pranena Ruddha Manasantastvam Dhyayan Pashyati Yogi Didhitim Arunachala-tvai Mahiyam Te Amala Rajata Deham Bhati Chijyotirekam Hridaya Kuhara Madhye Nishkalam Devarupam Nikatapathi Vicharaihi Vrittibhis Sadarena Sabhayam Abhivarenyam Tejasa Deepyamanam Karana Tanu Dhiyam Yaf Prerakas-svena Bhasa Kabalita Jagadandaha Pindamadhye Shayanaha Sakala Hridaya Vasa Shashvato Brahmarupaha Vijaratu Parishuddhim Chetaso Nashivakyaha. So, yesterday we saw Tattvamasi, the Mahavakya. Guru's Upadesha is Tattvamasi. The Anubhava of Shishya is Aham Brahmasmi. So, when the I is known as Brahman, that means as birthless, deathless, whole. The jnana here is Purna. The I am is not made of thought. When the other is there, thought is needed. To think about anything other than the self, thought is needed. To know one's own real nature, thought is not needed. Without thought, the only thing that is known is I am, āhum, which we call chit. It needs no thought. So whether the thought operates or not, just to recognize this precious thing, that what we are seeking is always there, we cannot even afford to lose it. We are not even given the power to lose it. It is ever siddha, always got, attained as our very being. So the more and more your attention turns towards that, the I am, to stay in that I am, and not bothered much about other things, because other things are unreal. They are not real. They will be there. You cannot remove them. And they will be there in a limitation. Factually, they will be there to the dimension of this room and what can be seen through the window, this side, that's all. This is pratyaksha. And they will be there as I can imagine. Somebody is there in Tiruvannamalai, somebody is there in Bangalore, somewhere in America, this, that. Next room is also imagination. We do not know whether he is there or not. Behind me is also imagination. So it all depends on thought, unreal. Let that operate. For the time being, as a sadhana, you can stop thinking, but you cannot completely stop thinking and live. As a sadhana, you stop thinking and know what is there in you when thoughts are stopped. Deep sleep is enough. We always speak about deep sleep, where the body is not, thoughts are not, but you are present as Atma, the self-existence. But there is a great problem with deep sleep. The problem is always deep sleep is not now. Deep sleep is always past, few hours before or few minutes after. Now you cannot have deep sleep. So deep sleep is always you are thinking about it. That is why it is called avidya, karana shariram, etc. Because you cannot have it now. What you can have it now is your existence as consciousness, I am. And that alone exists in deep sleep also. So once you know it, you know that it continues in dream, in deep sleep, in childhood, in youth, in old age, in disease, health, scattered state of the mind, quiet state of the mind. Always this I am, this I, āhum remains changeless principle behind all the changes. And your attention is turned towards that, tattvamasi, Bhagavan, when Bhagavan says you are that. Then your attention is turned towards that. Neti neti adi vakkal nishedittu murta murtam. Yedume tallarki illa yadai suvasvarupamaga. Bhagavan says, after negating everything, where you do not have anything to negate and what remains there, Avvastuvaṇḍō nītān. You are that vastu. You are that truth. You are that self. நேதி நேதியாதி வாக்கால் நிஷேதித்து மூர்த்தாமூர்த்தம் ஏதுமே தள்ளற்கில்லா யதை சுவஸ்வரூபமாக ஓதரும் சாதுவானோர் உள்ளத்தில் கொள்ளுவார்கள் ஆதிமை அறிவானந்த அவ்வஸ்து அன்றோ நீதான். ஆதிமை அறிவு, the primordial state of pure awareness. உத்தியாம் குத்தினாலே உமியனும் 5 கோஷம் புத்தியார் பிரித்து பின்னர் பொருந்திடும் அரிசி போலும் எத்தினை சத்துக்கள் கண்டு இதயத்தில் அனுபவிப்பர் அத்தமில் நித்த சித்த அவ்வஸ்து அன்றோ நீதான். You are that vastu. You are tattvamasi. With yuktiyam kuttinale, by rational reasoning, removing, segregating one by one the body, the mind, the senses, everything. Porundidum arisi pola, when the chaff is removed, you get the rice. Like that you remove the coverings, the body, the mind, the senses, and what remains there as pure consciousness. Avvastu andro nītān. And when the person realizes that, then he says, Aham Brahmasmi. I am that self. I am not what the world superimposes on me or my own ignorance superimposes on me. நரநரன் சுரன் இயக்கன் நானலன் அந்தணன் மற்று அரசனும் வணிகன் சூத்ரன் அல்லனல் பிரம்மச்சாரி கிரகியும் வானப்பிரஸ்தன் கேடகல் சந்நியாசி நிரவினில் யாருமல்லேன் நிஜபோத நிறையினில் ஆருமல்லேன் நிஜபோத வடிவனாமே. I am that pure awareness, nijabodha rupa, that pure self, that is my real nature. So this is the essence of Mahavakya Tattvamasi. When I see what my I is, I find it is pure self. When I see you, and what I mean by you, see, these are all samsara. Generally we say we have to be free of samsara. And what is samsara? Samsara is family, money, name, fame, man, woman, all these things. Why? Because they create bondage. Yesterday we saw Bhagavan's song. Enna paattu idu? Porul நாடு பொருள் etc. பொருள் நாடு சுற்றமொடு வருணாதி பற்றியுளம் மருள் நாடல். பொருள் is money, sutram is relationship, varnadi brahmana kshatriya vaishya. Marul nadal, the mind gets corrupted. Terul naad ulathil nal arul naadi nirkum avar irul naashamutru பூமி மேற் தருணாருணக்கதிரின் அருணாளுமுற்று சுக வருணாலயத்தில் எழிவார். So this all Bhagavan said very rarely, but here he is giving the signs of it. Because when the I comes, you also comes. And I, you and he should not enter. We both will look after. There is a joke. One person wanted to enter the train. and the train was overcrowded. And some people decided not to allow anybody to enter. When we were going to Haridwar during Kumbh Mela, this happened. From Delhi station we got into the train. By the time it reached 2-3 stations, it was full packed. And we were really afraid, what will happen? You cannot even breathe. All reserved compartment but no place. So some people decided, they just locked the compartment. And from outside I am hearing somebody screaming, "Baap ka gaadi hai? Khulao." Is it your father's train? We want to go to Kumbh Mela. And really it was so suffocating. But see, after half an hour, no sleep. Sitting the upper berth, you cannot even go for bathroom, all fulfilled. But after some time, all Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, somebody is chanting Samba Sada Shiva, Narayana, all Kirtan, Bhajana. Full compartment was full of satsanga. So that was very energizing. And that time itself, Bhagavan took us to Haridwar as sadhus, because we lost all our clothes. Bag, everything was lost. So, one person just locked the door, few people, and not allowing other to enter. Another station, another person somehow pushed and entered the train. And these people were just staring at him. He said, "Don't stare. I will cooperate with you to next station." Not allowing the third person to enter. So this is how I, you and he. Right? This is samsara. Only this much. In Bhaja Govindam, Shankaracharya says, very beautifully, he says, actually that 15 verses in Bhaja Govindam is ascribed to Shankaracharya, 15 verses to various disciples. Former editions, all the disciples' names were also put. Now I think we don't get it. Somewhere it would be there. So they will be saying, so one disciple is telling another disciple, "Why are you getting angry to me?" Because disciples means, on an institution means, generally this kind of fight will happen. So why are you getting angry with me? Tvayi mayi sarvatra eko Vishnu. Vyartham kupyasi maya sahishnu. In you, in me and everyone, there is only one Vishnu. Why unnecessarily getting angry? So, aprena? Tvayi mayi sarvatra eko Vishnu. Vyartham kupyasi maya sahishnu. Yes, okay, whatever. So, this I, the first problem is this I, then comes you. In whatever form you get related to the you. Whatever way you get related to the you, that is the only way the I can survive. See, the I is a primal bluff. And if it has to survive, it has to hold to some you. And with the help of the you, the I will survive. The you has to one and very often tell, "You are there, you are there." To keep the king confident, sycophants will be arranged. Some of these days we spoke about it. They will be constantly flattering him so that he can live. He can be confident. Like that, this I needs a you. And I and you will make a he, so that we can become strong. This is behind all our institutions, all our worldly achievements. Spirituality means single. And in that singularity also there is no I. With no I, ekantata alone is possible. The moment you collect I, you, he, everything will come. Bhagavata, that Avadhuta says about this law, these are all spiritual laws, which cannot be cancelled by anything. It will happen one day or the other. 2 people, they will fight. 2 people, they will talk. 3 people, they will fight. 4 people, they will have court case. This cannot be avoided. That is the nature of the world. In a slogan, Vase bahunam kalahaha dvayoho varta bhavedapi. In between 2, they will start talking, conversation. Eka eva charet tasmat. Moon irikani yojikana in a slogan. Eka eva charet tasmat kumarya iva kankanaha. That is a very simple example. Like 2 bangles. If you have 2 bangles in your wrist, they will make sound. 1 bangle here and 1 bangle in this hand, no sound. Like that, if there is separate, no sound. So this I, you, man, woman, Bhagavata says, from that the I becomes very powerful. Husband, wife, my house, my child, my body. The I becomes so intensely powerful. Pumsas triya mithuni bhavametam tayor mithaha hridaya granthimahu. They both have the knot of their heart becoming stronger. Tato griha kshetra suta apta vittaihi janasya moho yamaham mameti. Then from that, generally it happens, my house, my money, my children, my relative, my religion, my caste, my place, aham mama, I and mine, and all that fight ensues from that. And the root cause is avidya, ignorance. So, what is the way to remove this avidya? We can have humility, we can have satsang, we can do surrender to Bhagavan, but you have to know. You cannot escape from knowledge. You have to explore and find out. You have a snake, misapprehension of a snake in a rope. There are various techniques not to look at the snake. Do not think about the snake. The snake is a good snake. Or chant some mantra so that the snake will not bite. Or keep something in between you so that the snake will not come to you. Or somebody goes and says, once it happened in our place, we were all playing, there was one snake, dead snake. It was a dead snake. So, one servant who comes there, he was going there, he was deaf. We called him and said, just to show that the snake is dead. He came there, took a stick and started hitting it. It is already dead. After much beating, he said, now it is dead. It is already dead. But he said, and give some money, because I killed the snake. So that is it. Already it was dead. So this is the thing. The ego is also like that. It's already a dead snake. It's a non-existing snake which you are trying to kill by your so-called prasthanatraya bhashyam and all. Atma vicharam, everything. Our KVS used to say, ego is a black cat seen in a dark night on a new moon day by a blind man. so much unreality. The ego is a black cat seen by a blind man on a dark night of a new moon day. It is utterly unreal. The jiva bhava, jivam kalpayate purvam tato bhavan pritagvidhan. Actually, you are already that you are Brahma. You are not going to become Brahman by meditation or samadhi. By samadhi or meditation, you are just rediscovering your real nature, that's all. After that, it stays with you. Then the past bondage also disappears. That is the secret of Vedanta. It is not that in the past I was bound, now I escaped. No, there was no bondage in the past also. Nasid na asti na bhavishyati. Asid asti na bhavishyati. It was not, it is not, it will be not. And it is ever free, eternally free, tattvamasi. See, so much of absorption of knowledge is there in Bhagavan's Maunam. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi's Maunam, so much of absorption of knowledge is there. It is not simple silence. That is why when he says something, one word, it is like a bombshell. Swami Vivekananda says in one place, says, my words are like a corrosive substance. You cannot escape from it. I don't remember exactly the full word. Somewhere in the Gita commentary we have quoted it. From that comes the power. They never accepted that anything other than the Atma exists. That he was so much convinced. One Christian priest says about Vivekananda, see, his knowledge was so powerful that I was traveling with him in the ship. His knowledge was so powerful that I cannot take anything of this Christian theology or anything before him, because he did not consider that his religion, his knowledge is superior to us. He never considered or believed that his knowledge or is superior to us. He just accepted it. That's all. He just accepted it. For him it was so true. It is not that, because it is made of truth. It is not made of belief. It is not simply belief or faith or anything. It is just as real as your own existence. That is what he says. Truth is so simple because it is your existence. So when you know that sarvada svatmadaya hi bhadi, it always shines forth as the Atma. Bhagavan was ever living in that Satyam. And he looked at everyone as that Satyam. And he spoke only that Satyam, no compromise. No compromise. He said, you are that. I am that. Everyone is that. Even the dog there, monkey there, peacock. All are that. He never thought they are inferior. Then the natural problem comes, how will we have vyavahara? Because once one of Bhagavan's attendants said to Bhagavan, if we consider the monkey also as saved, we have to hand over the ashram to them and go. A practical problem. That is why we say Advaitam Trishu Lokeshu. Nadvaitam Guru Nasaha. You can have Advaita in all the world, but not with Guru. That means practical purpose. It is for the Bhavadvaitam Sada Kuryat Kriyadvaitam na karhichit. Don't make Advaitam as a Vyavahara. In Vyavahara it is Dharma. In Jnanam it is Advaitam. It is Bhava, it is Advaitam. Vyavahara it is Dharma. Because that is the guiding power. And for a Jnani, his very breath is Dharma. He is like a cloud that showers Dharma. So, this is actually Bhagavan's teaching, that Tattvamasi. His Maunam itself is Tattvamasi. Because Bhagavan says Arunachala's Maunam is Tattvamasi. Bhagavan said Arunachala is transmitting the teaching Tattvamasi by his mere silence. Incessantly, he is giving the Upadesha of Tattvamasi. And that was what Bhagavan was also doing. By his Maunam, constantly he was telling, you are me, I am you. Tvamevaham, tvamevaham, tvamevaham na samshaya. I am you, I am you, I am you. Nothing else. And he was saying with everything, everyone, everybody. Constantly, incessant Upadesha. Uninterrupted Upadesha. Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam. So that is this Tattvamasi Upadesha. That is what Dakshinamurti is also doing with his Maunam, with his Chin Mudra. He was just showing this is Jiva. This finger is Jiva. And this is Brahma, Atma, because it is turned towards the self. And this is turned always towards the world. He, you, he. And this is turned towards this, joined towards this, and says Tattvamasi. Vidravita Shesha Tamoganena. Mudra Visheshena, by mere mudra. Mudra Visheshena Muhur Muninam. Again and again, whenever the ignorance arises, it is removed. Mudra Visheshena Muhur Nirasya Mayam Dayaya Vitate. That is his Daya, Karun, compassion. Devo Mahan Tattvamasi Bodham. He gives the Bodham, the awareness of Tattvamasi by his Chin Mudra, not by verbally uttering anything. Without uttering single word, by his mere Maunam, he is transmitting the supreme knowledge. So, this is what Bhagavan also did. Bhagavan said the first person was Dakshinamurti, was the Guru. And from him continues this Vazhayadi Vazhai. In Tamil they say like planting shoots. It will not produce seed. You put the seed and just it grows. No, it grows as shoots out right at its feet. Like that, this Guru Tattvam also produces another like that it comes. So, by how it happens, Tattvamasi, you are that. Okay, so this is the 33rd verse. The 34th verse is 33rd or 34th? 33rd. 33. அதுமலாது என்னை அறியேன் நான். எதனே என்னை அறியேனான் என்னை அறிந்தேன் நான் எண்ணல் நகைப்புக்கிடனாகும். என்னை தன்னை விஷயமாக்க இரு தானுண்டோ ஒன்றாய் அனைவர் அனுபூதி உண்மையால். அதுவுமல்லாது, even not simply that, நான் என்னை அறியேன், I do not know myself. Even that Bhagavan did not accept. How can you say I do not know myself? You are knowing. That is why you say I do not know. This table will not say I do not know. You are saying this because you are awareness. So even to say I do not know, you have to know. Jnanam must be there. So, eṉணை yaṛiyēṉ நான், I know myself. eṉணை aṟindēṉ நான், I have known myself. eṉணal, just saying this, ணahaippukku kiḍaṉāhu. Nahaippu means making fun. It is like ridicule. Just saying this, ணahaippukku kiḍaṉāhu. eṉணை, why is it so? தன்னை விஷயமாக்க, to know and to be known, இரு தாணுண்டோ, can the awareness I am be dual? ஒன்றாய் அனைவர் அனுபூதி உண்மையால், everyone's anubhuti, all are experiencing that non-dual truth in their being. So that is the fact. There are no jnanis, only jnanam exists. It's a well-known saying of Bhagavan Ramana. Bhagavan many places says, there are no jnanis, only jnanam exists. Who is there to know the jnanam? Jnanam is your very swarupa. So the knower cannot stand apart. On such and such a date, I realized to myself. Of course, you can say in a certain way, because many people said, even the Upanishad rishis said, Vedahametam, Purusham Mahantam. But philosophically, there will be an mistake there to say that I know or I do not know. Who is this I who said I know? And who is this I who says I do not know? We have already made it clear that self-knowledge is the complete dissolution of the ego by jnanam. It is impossible to know the self as an object. Vijñātāramare kena vijaniyāt. The Brihadaranyaka says, how can you know the knower? That is why the Upanishad, Kena Upanishad, the Rishi tells his disciples, Nāham veda suvedeti. I do not claim that I know it well. No, na vedeti vedacha. Neither can I say I do not know. Why are you saying like this? This is how my teacher also told me. Yonastadveda tadveda nona vedeti vedacha. I do not feel that I know the self perfectly, nor do I feel that I do not know the self. Yonastadveda tadveda nona vedeti vedacha. Iru taṉuṇḍō. Are there two I? This is the question which Bhagavan asks here. So, the question is arised, Purva Paksha. The Upanishad Veda Sahasra Purusha Sukta, the Rishi says, Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam. I know that Parama Purusha. The Rishi has said. How could such an assertion be made? Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi himself declares, Tanpadam yanakku tandanan. In many places Bhagavan said, I directly went to that realization, so I escaped from many things. Sri Maharshi also remarked in several contexts that self-realization had dawned upon him in all its brilliance. Here the contradiction between I have known and the statement that one cannot say I have known occurring in the Shruti is merely apparent, not real. Actually, there is absolutely no contradiction between them. The words of Bhagavan and the Shruti quoted above, Vedaham etam, are not egoistic remarks, but factual statements. It only means that one cannot egoistically claim Atmajnana as an individual achievement. The current of Chit has the power to transmit self-knowledge without the use of words. The power of knowledge is an adversary of ego. For the same reason, the Jnani cannot claim, I have known the self, as long as there is even a trace of the ego. There is a story about a monk whom Yama, the god of death, wanted to capture. The monk was egoless, had no image about himself, and hence the lasso of death could not locate the person. The lasso could not find a sender to trap him with. So Yama sent some sycophants to earth to praise the monk incessantly. They did it so cleverly that slowly an image appeared in the monk's mind. The praise made the monk's head turn, and at that precise moment, Yama's noose could catch that person. As the burnt rope appears to retain its form, but is only mere ash. There is a story in Yoga Vasishta where ego is created for robots. The robots become very powerful than human beings. Dhamma Upakhyana. In that Upakhyana, Asuras, they create such machine men, those who do not have ego. As they have no ego, they will not fail also. They have no fear of life also. Even Vritrasura is like that. He had no ego. So Devas found it very difficult to fight with him. At last, one Brahma, I think he gave this idea to Devas. You go and praise him. And when he comes to attack, run away as if you are afraid. And this you have to do constantly so that the samskara of Abhimana is created inside him. And when the samskara of Abhimana is created inside, even a machine you can create it. That is what they say. Then it will respond. It will start becoming. That is why you say you worship a stone constantly, the stone will have that Abhimana. So, this is the eṉṉai aṟindēṉā, ணeṉணai aṟiyēṉā, eṉṉal nahaippuk kiḍaṉāhu. To say I am ignorance is also, a jnani can only laugh, because you are the life, you are the self. So, when one knows that there is nothing to know, nothing to cover the self, it is ever shining forth, then we say it is neither dvaita, advaita, beyond everything. Dvaita, advaita, vivarjite, samarase, maunam param sammatam. It's only maunam. So, there is a poem here also. There is a quote, first we will read that. ānaivaranubhuti. This is the word of Bhagavan. Sarvanubhuhu is a Mahavakya in Shruti. Sarvanubhuhu. It is the experience of all. And Bhagavan says it is the experience of all is a profound statement of this verse. See, that credit is given to everyone. It is not that by some sadhana you are going to attain, you are already that. At least when you listen it, you will get the joy. Now you are in the state of nirvana. You are that now in your very being is God. Your very being is Brahman. It is the experience of all. That the Atman is experienced by all is a foregone conclusion in Vedanta. The very experience of I is nothing but the Atman. Stay still in the I am. Budge not from that center, and you will come to know God. Experience is already there. Indeed, The spark that is felt by you now as I am is the same primordial fire that baffled all the gods of yore. This knowledge that the self within me is the self in all has to happen. Bhagavan words to Swami Madhavatirtha. For the Atman, there is nothing to know or to be known. It is the one who has knowledge who has to make an effort to gain knowledge. One who has no knowledge who has to make an effort to gain knowledge. This is what takes place in the waking state. Anatma, which is the non-self, which can also be called Chidabhasa, the reflected consciousness, as the ignorance. So this reflected consciousness has to make an effort for jnana or knowledge. Knowing and not knowing happen in the non-self. The self does not have to obtain knowledge, for it is knowledge itself. When the knower, the reflected consciousness is felt, at that time ajnana or ignorance is present. The one who feels this ignorance then makes an effort to attain jnana, which is knowledge. When the reflected consciousness gets the knowledge, it no longer remains. This is because the reflected consciousness always remains with ignorance or mithyajnana. During sleep, there is no reflected consciousness. So, at that time, the false knowledge is not to be obtained. This is only from the point of view of the current conversation. In reality, there is only the Atman. Because this is so, there is nothing to know and nothing to be known. This is Bhagavan's statement to Madhavatirtha. So there is a poem here. I am that. There is an invaluable treasure within you. Having it, you have everything, the whole. You can never lose it as it is eternal, ever attained. Your fear of losing it is founded on mere delusion. It is self-luminous, and its light is reflected outside. Seeking outside is seeking a mirage, as it is only reflection. As your attention is on the scene, you see your light there. All seeking outside is to jump in the pond to catch the moon. The reflection of the moon is not real. See the sky. Turn within and look at the inner effulgence. You are the moon. You are the light. Wander no more. Own it by abiding in it. Identify with it as I am that. So that is it. The invaluable treasure. Thedadu vitranal thiruvarul nidhi. When you own it, you have everything. Outwardly, you might be having nothing. All problems will be there. You see, Bhagavan, by the age of 17 or 18, he was almost in a way handicapped. His one leg was damaged that time itself. From that, you can see Bhagavan at the age of 20 was carrying a walking stick. Even then he was using, that danda was not simply a sannyasi's danda. That one leg in the Patala Lingam got affected because he was unconscious and all the creatures were eating his body. So that one leg was completely damaged. That. And he had lot of physical troubles also. See, we think Bhagavan is like a vigraham, a statue. In Skandashramam, for a long period he had a wheezing. And lot of trouble from other sadhus, many places. And his stomach was in constant trouble. And as there is no real good management around, all kind of chaos was there. Once some people came, they said, we have come to take you to Podikaimalai. And they said, Agastya is waiting there for you. So we have come to lift you physically, put you in a vehicle and take you to Podikaimalai. And it is, so much test for Maunam. How can we remain in Maunam? We will just run away. And he is sitting quiet. They were preparing to take him. At that time, that Asura Perumal Swami was needed. He came there, he said, I already got the news that you are coming. Agastya told me. And he said, you know what Agastya told? I have to do puja to you. What puja? They asked. They said, you are all Siddha Purushas. Yes. And he said, you should be given Abhisheka in hot oil. And he really put a vessel in the fire and poured oil and started boiling it. They just ran away. So much trouble. And so many sadhus gave so many troubles to Bhagavan. Somebody just put hot chili over his body. Many, actually they have given poison also. That is why you can see the upper portion of Bhagavan's teeth all affected. So many troubles silently has undergone. And due to people around, their trouble, their problems, their lot of troubles. So with all that, we don't see anything and we see him as Purnam, Maunam. Bhagavan was remaining always in Maunam. Why you feel that? Because with all this confusion, chaos, in the center he has seen that Purnavastu. And that knowledge speaks the Purnatva. Krishnāvatara is also like that. So much trouble, but nobody knows Krishnāvatara has so much trouble. Even before Krishna was born, decades before that problem started. His father and mother was put inside jail. All his brothers, elder brothers, except Balarama, was killed. And killed means murdered violently right before the eye of his father and mother. And on the day when the child was born in the rain, the child had to be taken from there to Gokula and hidden there. Every day they were in tension whether Kamsa will find him out. With all that, so much trouble, till his last day, no rest. With all that, we say Krishnāvatara is bliss. Why bliss? So much trouble, even a little trouble of that, we will not be able to bear. So there is no outer perfection. There is no outer solution of problems. It was not a very healthy body, a very cozy Jivan Mukti. It is not that comfortable liberation, no. All chaos. That is why Krishna tells Arjuna, realize amidst this battle, all these problems will be there in the center. Yogastho bhava, yoga yukto bhava, abide in yoga. That is the challenge. With all that chaos, with all that confusion, one has to see, you need not do anything, you have to just accept the anubhuti. The thing that is there, which is Purna. You cannot do anything. The Mithya cannot be changed, the Satyam also cannot be changed. You just know the Satyam, then jnāte tattvekah samsāraha. Samsara is there, but it is not there in you. You do not superimpose it, ascribe it to yourself. You do not take it and put it in your body. You are free by the power of this jnanam. So having it, you have everything, the whole. When you have this jnanam, you have everything. Otherwise, you have everything, you do not have anything. You can see this in the world. Very, very famous people, celebrities, presidents, American president, all the Mughal emperors, they were great Mughal emperors, they ended their life in jail. And nobody was happy. Always some fight will be there, some army, some problem. They were all mad people. Not only the Mughal emperor, all this Genghis Khan, this person, that person, all this fighting, invading. Alexander. These are the people who are spoken in history. And they were all psychic people, psychically affected peoples. What we call psycho. They were all cracks. And such people, our children study in school. And nobody studies about Shankaracharya. Sane people are not studied. Shankaracharya, Ramana Maharshi, who will study in school? Who will study even Buddha? No. All mad people you study. All mad events like Panipat war, this war, that war, all these things you have to by heart the date. For what? I don't know. All idiotic things. So, this is the world. With all that, in the center, you will find illumined souls. Because illumination is the very nature of the self. Jnanam is the very nature. You see, in the house of a great, terrible asura like Hiranyakashipu, Prahlada is born. That is a great history. The father is saying no spirituality anywhere. Communist country. If someone becomes spiritual, kill him. See, this Stalin or this Hitler or these people are not new. They all come back again and again in the history. It's all Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, they are all there. Again and again the same thing repeats. And the nahaippuk, making fun of all these things, Bhagavan will do by in his house will Prahlada come. A great devotee comes once in a while. Hiranyakashipu's son is Prahlada, a great bhakta. The power of spirituality is seen there. No, when he asks, is there God in this pillar? Hiranyakashipu asks, is there God in this pillar? And Prahlada said, yes. And the story is that from that Narasimha avatara came. Sridharacharya says, Satyam Vidhatum Nijabhritya Bhashitam. Prahlada in his satsanga to his companions, he told, Bhautikeshu cha bhaveshu. He said, even in the materialistic stone, wood, everywhere Narayana is there. To demonstrate it, this happened. Another beautiful saying is a Jivan Mukta, Prahlada. He attained jnanam from the womb. And his jnanam was so powerful that he looks at others, they get illumined. The Asura boys, they got illumined. And when father asked whether the pillar, there is Narayana inside, he looked inside the pillar. They say the pillar became pregnant with Narayana. Impregnated with Narayana. Chidgarbha, Vishnu Garbha. So that kind of jnana balam, having it, you have everything. You can never lose it as it is eternal, ever attained. That jnanam cannot be lost by anything. Oh, no, if I do this, if I go there, then jnanam means jnanam has not come. So seeking it outside is like running for water in a marichika, marumarichika, mirage. So this is the poem. The next 34th song. நம்ம எவ்வளோ இருக்கு? 6, 2, 8. எத்தனை நாள் இருக்கு? 9. Next song is very important. என்றும் எவர்க்கும் இயல்பாய் உள்ள பொருள், சித்தமாய் உள்ள பொருள், that also very important. அது ரெண்டு ஒரு நாள். Then தசமநியாயம். Okay. அருணாச்சல சிவ, அருணாச்சல சிவ, அருணாச்சல சிவ, அருணாச்சலம், அருணாச்சல சிவ, அருணாச்சல சிவ, அருணாச்சல சிவ, அருணாச்சலம். யதோ மமாத்மா பவசி த்வமேவ ததோ ந வாச்யம் மம கிஞ்சிதஸ்தி. यथातविष्टं कुरु मां तथैव त्वाम् आत्मनाथं रमणं भजामि.